Hi folks, I'm Steve Judd. I'm a professional astrologer with over 35 years consultative experience to my name. These are my astrological forecasts for the year 2015 for each sign of the zodiac. Enjoy. And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Aries for the whole of 2015. Folks, this is going to continue the last 3 or 4 years of fairly regular and consistent change. Okay, it's not going to be a quiet year. What's different compared to recent years is that the level of accompanying intensity and extremism and compulsion and obsession is now finally either plateauing or in some cases even beginning to be on the wane. But there's still the ongoing capacity for hectic, dynamic, unpredictable, creative, exciting, disruptive change. Uranus is still in your sign. Uranus is going to continue being in your sign for another 3 years yet. He's only halfway. You can't avoid him. So, the negative side of Uranus is where you get stuck in a rut and then he comes in and he yanks the rug from underneath your feet and he sends you tumbling all over the place. He brings chaos and disruption and disorder, anarchy, nihilism. He brings sudden dramatic changes into elements of your day-by-day lifestyle that force you into making on-the-spot changes. It's pretty chaotic. At a neutral level, Uranus does bring the need for more stimulus, a dislike of boredom, futurism, new tech, new creations, new communications. At the positive level, Uranus brings freedom, independence and liberty, excitement and adventure. It's where you begin again, break the mold, reinvent yourself. Over 2014 and through to mid-late March of 2015, Uranus has been directly affecting the lives of those Arians born April 3 through to about April 6. From mid-March of 2015 onwards, he then moves into the lives of those Aries born April 7 through to April 10. So these people are being given fair warning at the start of the year. Change is coming. So you either surf the wave of change and you flow with it as it passes through you and you get a really exciting ride, or you get thrown all over the place if you try and control it or hang on to anything on its way. You've got to go with the flow. Similarly, Pluto hasn't finished with you either. Although the Uranus-Pluto square is now on the wane, Pluto is still certainly looking with a few of you with a very, very keen eye. And here we're looking at those of you born at the end of the first week of April. Pluto is going to be directly influencing those of you born around April 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7, over the coming year in ways that do hold a degree of intensity, possibly even extremism. Certainly you may find that you either put out or much more likely unconsciously attract a degree of compulsion or obsessive behaviour on the behalf of other people. At all times keep your transactions and your dealings with other people completely above board and transparent. Otherwise, if things can go wrong, they will. But if you've got an absolutely clean record and a clear paper trail, then nothing sticks. Both Uranus and Pluto are continuing to knock many of you around. And although this is mainly limited to those of you born from perhaps the 3rd through to the 10th of April, it's still going to have a reverberating effect into all of your sign, into all of you, regardless of when your birthday is. Neptune, being in the next door sign of Pisces, isn't directly touching you, so there's no sense of confusion or distortion. You're on planet, you're down to earth. Even Saturn's not really giving you any grief. Fair bit of the year he's in Scorpio, which time he'll be completely just not so much unaware of your presence, but not concerned. And when he is in Sagittarius, he's going to be looking very favourably indeed upon some of you. Those of you born March 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 even, Saturn's going to be smiling on in a way that's going to bring slow, gradual, background, solidity, structure, boundary and discipline. Nice words. And it's not going to be exciting, it should be reliable. You can get things done. First, if you're born in the start of Aries, before the 25th of March, then you should find that the first 9 months of the year is a really good time for putting things in place that you intend to be stable for the long-term future. Jupiter's only going to be looking at you in the first 7 months of the year. From mid-August onwards, when he moves into Virgo, you go off his radar. And indeed, he's only really focusing on those of you born from perhaps April the 5th onwards, 4th, 5th onwards. Here though, those of you born from April the 5th through to the end of Aries, please be aware that the time of mid-late April 2015 through to perhaps late June, early July 2015 does hold in it a slightly higher opportunity quotient than normal, and your glass will be fairly full at this time. The critical times of this year are twofold. There's one at the end of the year, the period around the 13th of October, the new moon in Libra, opposite Uranus in Aries, which suggests that those of you who are going to find that this coming year holds an element of change and disruption may find that the new moon in Libra around the 13th of October does give you the chance to escape the disruption and begin something brand new. Before then, there is the conjunction of Mars with Uranus at the beginning of March at 14:15 Aries. And those of you born around the 6th, 7th, 8th of March, boy, you're going to know about it. Talk about novel, talk about stimulating and exciting, talk about headstrong, impulsive, volatile and potentially confrontational, big time. And then of course there's the total eclipse of the moon on April the 4th in your opposite sign Libra. It's the full moon eclipse. And that's going to be with the Sun conjunct Uranus in your sign. Again, those of you born around April 3, 4, 5, you're going to find that the first few months of this year are going to be extremely developmental. But for all of you, the pressure does really die down, primarily from the time of July, August onwards, and the second half of the year is much calmer, theoretically. As far as 2015 goes, Aries, with certain specific exceptions, have a slightly more relaxed year. There you go, folks. I hope that was helpful and informative. I believe astrology should be free. I think that if astrology was taught in schools, we'd see an end to warfare within 2 generations. And in that context, I want to put as much astrology free into the world as I can. But it does cost. Your donations, month in, month out, the £1, the £5, the £10 a month that you send me, really help me keep this going. Thank you, keep them coming. And look what I've got. And there's a new one on Mercury coming out later this year. So if you want to get these or find out about all my gigs travelling around the world this coming year lecturing on astrology, email me, steve@stevejudd.com. See you next year. Bye.